What's up guys, it's Larko, and today I got a little bit of a different video. Today's video is more of a podcast style video where me, Maz and Luke spoke about all of our issues with Battlefield and stuff we would like to see in future games. We did originally have quite a few things to talk about that weren't Battlefield, but we ended up rambling for quite a while just on Battlefield. We did end up going off topic a little bit as well. This is our first time doing something like this, so apologies for that. But we had a good chat in this video. So yeah, feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions down below if you agree with anything we've said. I will also have links to both Snooze and Mazel's channels in the description. I'll probably pin it as a tag as well. Feel free to let me know your comments down below if you enjoy this style of videos. If so, we're going to continue doing it, but obviously it just completely depends if it's worth doing it or not. Alright, come on then. Thoughts on Season 7 and the trailer for 2042, along with other creators absolutely sucking the season dry through Dice's bumhole.
Wow, worst straw. That's hard.
Yeah, with a bloody big straw.
An environmentally friendly straw.
Yeah, protect the turtles, please.
Well, I think, I don't know, my video, I gotta be honest, I don't think I went over the top, but I've angered quite a few people.
I didn't
I mean, you always will.
Enough, mate.
For some reason, 2042 has this die-hard fan base that will die on the hill and try and say it's like the greatest game out right now, and they will like defend it at all costs. If they release the most dog shit update that breaks the game, removes skins for the game for some whatever reason, they will still find a way to defend it.
Just,
That's the state of it.
Do you know where they all live? In the lovely place of 2042 Rare subreddit.
Oh yes, the subreddit. The subreddit is where cretins go to hibernate and come out when someone attacks them.
Yeah, you say the most positive thing on the subreddit, and someone will always find a way to argue with it.
Oh god, yeah.
It was like with Miz when he put that, I don't know if you've seen it, Luke, but he put, what did he put in it? It was a gyroscope for controllers, and basically it just gets rid of aim assist, and obviously there's a bit of a skill gap with it, but you can have mouse-like input with a controller, and he got so much hate in there for suggesting a good idea.
Full of fucking losers, man. No, it generally is. It's a platform people just sit on all day, and their sole purpose on Reddit is to seek arguments. That's it. It's the same with Twitter. Like the amount of people I've seen on Twitter that argue and argue, and if you go on their profile and read their replies, all they do is argue. It's just sad.
It's just farm engagement and likes. That's all it is.
Yeah.
The 2042 Insta ain't that bad, but there's still there's a mix of people sucking it off and then trashing it. For well-deserved criticism, but you know.
Well, I was going to make a video on it. But then
with me?
But then I decided not to.
Why?
Because what's the point? I don't care about the game anymore. I just don't care for it. It's so boring because I would know what we're gonna get. I know what to expect.
I'm gonna add another thing on my list.
Get editing down there.
How the fuck are cosmetic content?
No.
That's gonna be one of the questions.
I should have said that as well, but
yeah.
Yeah, I should have clarified it. I mean, Dusty said it. I said I liked him, but mate, I got attacked for just liking a few cosmetics in there. And people are like, "Yo, what's wrong with the game?" Da 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 da. Dice think they can get away with making these stupid skins and everything because of people like you. And mate, all I said was I liked a few skins.
Yeah, I mean, you can say the skins are cool, but you don't have to support.
No,
support it. Like,
just because you buy the skins doesn't mean you fucking love the game.
Yeah, like I said in my video, I said. Stores, bundles, whatever, they're fine as long as the game is good. If the game is good and it has a lot of free content that you can access just by playing the game, it's fine.
The finals?
Right? But
the finals.
Yeah, but if the game's half-assed, barely functions, has barely any content, but there's more focus on the store and the skins and whatever, it's a problem. It really is a problem. And people who buy these skins and support it, and they're on Twitter saying, "Wow, these skins look amazing," and so on, they're part of the problem because DICE are seeing this and being like, "Holy shit, if we just keep dumping skins, we'll make our money back from the game, whatever." Like, because most game companies, like, all they need is like 5 or 10% of the player base to buy the skins to support the game. That's all they need.
They make a ton. Absolute ton of it. I don't know. I find with like the cosmetics anyway, in Season 7, they're not as outlandish and as stupid as a lot of the other skins have been in previous seasons. I don't know, it's not very fit the theme, but they're just a little bit more controlled.
Yeah.
They're just not as wacky. Like when they had the fire outfits and stuff like that, they looked horrendous and they were just stupid. You can't run around Arica Harbour with a blue flaming fucking Ghost Rider costume, can you? Like, It was
I remember
horrendous.
when 2042 came out, and like within the first month, like DICE had the cheek to put up a picture of future cosmetics up, and it was a
Oh, do you
Santa Claus
remember?
outfit for Boris.
I
Yeah,
remember
I
people
don't even
were-
remember seeing that.
People were not happy. They removed it straight away.
yeah.
What was it
like,
called? I ain't even seen it.
I think if you search 2042 Boris Santa skin, it'll come up.
It looks pretty cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have we started, by the way? Are we actually recording?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah. Don't worry. I'll edit it anyway. Like,
yeah.
oh my god, I've never seen this before. That is a
Yeah,
piss take.
Yeah, and that they had the cheek to like put that on Twitter like after the game's launch. Like people were like,
I mean, it's
like,
not
your
bad
game's
skin.
terrible, but it
It's just it doesn't suit it.
yeah, people are obsessed with this realistic military theme, and they thought skins like that would be like goofy and out of touch for the game.
Oh mate, the intros they had as well and the outros for the characters was
Don't even get
so
me
bad.
started.
Yeah,
I know you went over that in your video, but God,
the advert they released before the game came out, like "What a Time to Be Alive," like that shit was just pure cringe. Have you seen that trailer, like the full thing?
nah. I
Oh,
did see the
God.
link, but someone left a comment on one of Ender's. I think it was his newest video. Oh, it was actually pretty funny. Hang on, where is it?
I'm linking it to you now.
It was an Angel quote. Yeah, so yeah, his video, Battlefield 2042 Season 7 is pathetic. And the guy, but don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes. Quote from
Yeah.
Angel.
Say that at the end of the round every time.
Yeah, I just linked you one of the trailers they released before the game. I shit you not, this is one of the worst things I think I've ever watched for Battlefield.
So that
It
bad.
is just pure cringe.
Yeah, I don't know. With Season 7, I think it's scummy of what they've done. They've incorrectly marketed it as being 2 new maps. Haven is a new map. However, it does have just used
It's just
assets.
reused
Yeah.
assets, and it's
Yeah.
literally Araka Harbour
Yeah.
2.0. I mean,
Like-
it might play well, but let's be honest, Araka Harbour doesn't actually play that well in 2042 anyway.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I said in my video that I think the map still played well, but it does have a camping problem. People love to camp in
We'll
that
just
map.
camp on the map on the.
Yeah.
Because there's more buildings, it can make it even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
one of the first things I noticed in the season 7 trailer was the buildings, and it was pretty much all the same buildings, so just copy and pasted around. And one of the problems with Araka Harbour is if you go into these buildings, they're completely empty. They have like no furniture, they have no character
Just
whatsoever.
polished.
Yeah, and Haven's probably going to be exactly that. All the buildings are going to be empty. They're going to look
Yeah, but
sad.
If there is as destructible as the one on Araka Harbour, then that's a problem as well. Because once you level most of the buildings,
Just vehicles
Yeah.
around the map.
it's just vehicles just ruin it because you've got nowhere to
Yeah.
hide whatsoever.
So, and there's not much verticality to Haven either, so I can see that also being a problem.
Mate, I said it in my video. I was like, look at the rooftop. It is so clean. I should say they
Pristine.
literally look like new build houses. It's nuts.
Yeah, you
but
know
I-
how like some like game devs like put up pictures of like alpha versions of games, and you can see like there's like no textures. It's just a flat
Yep.
grey paint. That's what it looked like.
Like someone's just mopped it 3 minutes before they released the fucking trailer.
And with
Yeah.
Stadium as well, Ender said in his video, and I think this is a pretty good point, which I didn't really think about, right? Is we know how bad Kaleidoscope is, right? As a TDM map. Like that main building anyway,
Yeah.
because of the stairs. Imagine what the stairs and zips are going to be like on Stadium. It is just
Well-
going to be like redacted.
If it's just going to be vertical gameplay, it's a write-off.
Yeah,
Well, people are going to camp the stairs, aren't they? Put down the sentries, use their explosives.
You can only use one part, well, one side of that stadium anyway. You can't go the whole way around it. So
No,
it's just gonna-
might
they
have
need
changed
to
it
allow the
then.
outside.
it may. I'm hoping. So you know the stadium, like way back in the day, when you go inside the stadium, you looked at the actual ground and all that. Half of it was flooded with sand.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
hoping they remove most. I'm hoping they removed all the sand and made it so you can go around the entire stadium, because
It
that
looks
could be
like they have.
interesting. Yeah, that could be interesting. I completely understand why people were pissed that they recycled a part of an old map, but
Well, I don't even think it is that they've recycled it. I think that's the main problem is that they've labelled it as a new map.
yeah,
If
that
they
is the
just
big
said-
problem. Yeah,
If they just said we've reworked Stadium, I
Like,
think
if it-
it'd be less problematic than what it is
Yeah.
now, labelling it as a new map, which just isn't.
If it
Mm.
was, and that is what we were getting mid-season, I don't think people would be as upset either, because it would freshen up the feel of, right, we've just played this map for 2-3 months. Now we do have another brand new map for 2-3 months. And if they do this whole 24/7 playlist thing again, I swear to God, it better not be the same map every single week, like Redacted. They need to add in stuff like Reclaimed. Just put
Oh,
all these maps on rotation.
Yeah.
Redacted's going to stay in.
Another fix they could do, this will fix all those fucking problems, is add a server browser. Let
Yeah.
us host our own service in All Out Warfare so we can have 24/7 Stadium or 24/7 Haven and stuff like that. Because if you go to All Out Warfare, it just feels like the only modes in the game is Breakthrough and Conquest. And then they have the rotational game modes that whenever I go to play them, they're dead. I don't know if it's the same for other people, but for me, whenever I played the rotational game modes in All Out Warfare, they were dead.
Yeah,
But
you're literally playing against bots half the time.
Yeah.
you will get someone in your comments saying, well, there's a server browser on Portal. Portal's fucking dead because it's full of XP farming. Oh, it's just, it's such a mess. And they've said nothing.
Another thing with Portal's browser is it doesn't work. If you go to host a server, people can't find your server. No. They can't. They have to, in order to find it, they have to search for the server exactly how it's spelt to find it.
Yeah.
But no one's going to do that because, well, no one would know about it. No one knows what. No one would know what it's
You used to
called
have one, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I even advertised it in one of my videos. Hey, I have a server running. Come join. And I don't think anyone even joined it. I don't think people even tried because either one, they didn't care, or two, they just couldn't find it.
I think they need to just straight up remove anything that's flagged as XP farming unlock because they don't work and they're stupid.
Well, and they shouldn't be in a game.
No, that's not what Portal was made for.
The thing is, they could literally get a small team of 5 people to go onto Portal, find these XP servers.
You say it's a small team, mate. That's the whole team they've got working on 2042 right now.
Okay, let's say one person, for example. All it needs one person to go onto Portal, find all these XP boosting servers, find the creator experience code and flag it. So whenever a server is running with that code, it will have restricted XP.
Or even like just add tags so they can like if they had it right, so all these XP stuff was gone, you would actually have decent stuff come up. And the fact that I know some people don't like the whole milsim thing, but even if they had that on like the main menu of Portal for a week, that is a viable mode they could have. And for some reason they've never done it. Instead it's just squidgy fucking chaos every single week near enough.
I was going to say that
Rush XL.
Weekly, there's a new game mode on Portal weekly, right? I think it was Capture the Flag last week. But it's never featured.
No.
Like, most of the time, people aren't going to go all the way down to Portal to have a look what new game modes are. They're just going to go straight into Conquest or Breakthrough. If you put it right at the top, featured, people are more likely to go and click on that and check it out than they are, having to go and look for it.
It takes one person to do that. One person to select what's going to be on there.
Yeah, I mean, like, just a server browser just fixes all these problems. Because I remember playing Battlefield 3 on Xbox, right? And back then, you could, for those people who don't know, on Xbox, you could go to the store and you could buy a server. And I think it was like £7 for a week or £16 for a month or something like that. And there was very limited customization, but you can set tickets to like very high and all that. And then once you have a server running, you go on the server browser in Xbox and bam, everything was there. If you wanted to play close quarters DLC maps 24/7, you could find them really easy.
Oh, it was the best.
Yeah, it worked. They need a system like that in All Out Warfare, but obviously remove the monetization part for it. Let people host servers for free, like you can in Portal. So I personally think what destroyed Portal, what killed it, is the creative freedom that they allowed at the start.
Too much.
It was too much.
Yeah.
So what I think how they could fix this is the custom experiences and then the official experiences. So say if I go to host a server, I'll click on official experiences and then I'll have like Conquest. Okay, choose your maps, Hourglass. Okay, choose your tickets and so on and all that. And then it'll be an official experience that have full XP and it won't have any of these like custom experiences. And then that's what will appear in All Out Warfare. But if you do custom experiences, that will appear in Portal. And it just removes that XP boost and stuff like that. It's restricted.
But a lot of people as well, I feel like, because there's such a buggy issue, I wouldn't even say it's a buggy issue. I think they did put it in place for a reason. So the XP farm and stuff like that, right? It doesn't work. The unlock stuff doesn't work in Portal. You have to go against solo versus AI. So a lot of people that are fairly new and haven't unlocked everything, they will stay away from Portal purely because when they play, they're not going to unlock nothing and they're not going to level up. If they made these featured official modes, let's say the Milsim one, right? They could make it an official server this authenticated to earn all these XP and still weapon unlocks because they know it's a genuine custom game mode that works and it's not just a boosting one, which is currently flooding Portal, and it has done since release.
Yeah.
Even like I was tempted to make a Portal mode, right, where it was just 64 players, right, with Redacted and Reclaimed, and then you could also add in these 2 new maps when they're released because they're going to be 64 player. And let's say you ban some explosive stuff, right, like the SPH doesn't need to be on there. You could ban these specific weapons, and they could make it an official mode that's a genuine mode that everyone can still unlock stuff on. An XP, and you could play it like it is a normal game mode, and mate, it's so easy. It's so easy for them.
I think Portal was just such a missed opportunity because I have played on a few Portal servers that have worked and functioned properly, and one I played on for months. I can't remember the name of the guy that owned it. He run it's like a 24/7 rush server. It had all the maps, 128 players rush, right? It was a dog shit mode because it's so chaotic, you could barely move, but some maps it was really fun to play. And if you go back and watch all my old 2042 videos, I mainly played Rush 24/7. This was the only server that actually functions properly in the whole browser. Any other server was just like really like niche game modes or XP boosting. This was the only popular server in the whole game.
That and Squid Cheese.
Yeah. And this was very rare, and it actually It's saddens me that this is No Shock Now's TDM 24/7. I've only played that once on Portal, and you'd be surprised how well that actually runs on 2042 with the specialists and stuff. It still plays really well even with specialists, and I've never seen that server ever again. I've never seen a TDM No Shock Now's 24/7 server ever.
Well,
that's really annoying.
We used to use the No Aim Trainer for like weapon videos or just getting thumbnails or whatnot. Can't do that anymore. It just doesn't work because of all the other Portal servers that are just.
Miss said it's because it hasn't been updated, but I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's
I think it's because there's too many servers.
There's too many servers, bullshit servers on Portal that are stopping you from getting in.
Yeah, I might be completely wrong about this, but how often do you guys check patch notes in updates?
Every time they come out.
Do you ever see changes on Portal?
Nope.
They never.
This might just be like a tinfoil hat theory, but I'm pretty sure they've cancelled support for Portal ages ago, but haven't said anything.
Was it Ripple Effect? Was that who was working on it?
I think so, yeah.
And yeah, I could be wrong, but I swear something was said where they're just not working on it. Where the DICE team then focuses on balancing the weapons, that's all they have to do because the weapons have already been ported over. But surely if it's just a balancing thing, that should be super easy to do.
Yeah. Another thing that annoys me about the Portal weapons is when they hyped up all the cosmetics and skins coming to Portal weapons.
They've done nothing.
I got really excited for that because like, oh shit, there's more guns I can grind for tier 1 skins. The skins dropped and there was no tier 1 grind for these Portal weapons. Like,
I don't think there is any skins. You can just apply the default ones.
Yeah, it can't be that hard to put tier 1 skins on the Portal guns. Why are we not getting more Portal weapons in Season 7?
They haven't announced it, have they? And I don't think they will.
Last time they said, I think Dusty mentioned it, didn't he? I think it was either in the Discord or in one of the comments where he said time they ported them over, they said it's just it's quite difficult to balance them with all-out warfare attachments now.
It can't be.
It's just how hard can it be when you're porting like 3-4 weapons? Obviously, I don't know how game development works and shit, but surely it can't be that hard.
No,
it's just damage values. Like they can't balance a single weapon like the VHX for 4 fucking months. So to be fair, I'm not surprised they can't port more weapons over because it'd be a fucking shambles at this point.
That's why like guns back in BF3 were so easy to balance because the problem that Battle War 2042 has is each gun has like different damage models, right? But how it worked in BF3 is the damage model is based off the weapon's caliber. So every 5.56 gun in the game would do 25 damage, base damage would be 25. If it was like a 7.62 NATO caliber, that would do 34 damage base. So most guns in BF3 did the same damage, but what made them different was recoil patterns, spread, first shot accuracy, and so on. That's what made these weapons feel different. But they just had to complicate it in 2042 by giving every gun like unique damage models and stuff.
Yeah, because it had the same across the board. It's like you can just use a specific weapon because it's viable and it's got the same ammo types, but you just prefer the feel of it. You prefer the rate of fire. You prefer the way it looks. They could have done that, and they just haven't. But no, standard, close combat, and then high power. That was it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what the values are. I know Miz is a bit of a wizard as well with all his Google Doc sheets and the people he works with to create accurate charts for weapons, which even DICE can't do themselves. Even though they've done it with, was it Battlefield 5? You could see like the damage drop-off values and whether...
It was Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1, yeah, and where the sweet spot was for range with bullet velocity and stuff. Like, they can't even give us a chart. And they done it as well, didn't they? I swear I seen something on Twitter where they showed like before and after of like the damage values for the VHX. And it's like, people were saying, why isn't this in the game? You could have something like that with the free ammo types up and it shows you visually.
Yeah.
And it's,
That's another thing. Is do you know, like, so let's use the S5 for example. So you have the medium mag. What's the smaller mag? It's like 30 rounds, but gives you a faster fire. What was that called again? Standard issue.
so the standard issue extended was 30 rounds, or was it
So
just?
you had standard issue extended.
It might be standard actually.
High power drum. I'm pretty sure there's no difference in damage.
Yeah, so it's high power, standard
High
issue,
rate
and then
power.
high power drum. That was it. They didn't have an extended for some reason because apparently Scars don't have that.
Yeah.
It's the main reason why I don't use it as much.
Yeah, so in terms of base damage, I don't think there was any difference between standard issue and high power with the S-File. They both did 28 damage in close range. So does the high power give you more range? Is that it?
Yeah, Season 7 is a disappointment. Any shill that wants to come at me for it, go suck your mum. It is what it is. Content creators and audience alike have been absolutely sucking dice off and can't criticize what we're getting. We are literally getting less content than any other season, and we've been waiting nearly 6 months, which is like double the amount of time as season 1. I can't remember the rest.
Mate.
But yeah, season 1 was 11 weeks, and we got to rework a vehicle, technically 2, Hannibal and Huron. They're the same, aren't they? But they got different models.
Specialist.
Yeah, you get specialists. We got the rework of the map. We were getting vault weapons, I'm pretty sure, and we would in other seasons, and we were also getting free weapons and a gadget. So
Well, the thing with the rework was it was a rework of the whole map, not just a section of the map like the stadium, you know, and it's taken 6 months. So
literally, it's taking one asset out of the game and changing it. It's like going on to Kaleidoscope, right, and them changing that center building and calling it a new map. It's exactly the same.
pretty much the same thing.
And, right, let me add, right, the stadium was shit before. I don't care what anyone says, it was shit. There's no way anyone found it fun.
The only reason people liked it because it was the only place you could actually find gunfights on. That's the only reason people liked it. It wasn't good. It was still
I
bad.
surprisingly barely remember the stadium. I don't think was it even a flag on Conquest over by the stadium.
Yeah, it was.
There was. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mainly played Breakthrough. You'd only be the first phase on Hourglass and Breakthrough was at the stadium, but the attacker's spawn was the stadium. So no fights would actually ever happen inside the stadium. It was just a spawn point.
Well, do you want me to tell you how I remember it?
Go on, mate. How was it?
Right, day 1, maybe even day 2. Battlefield 2042's fresh. I was feeling eager to play. The hit detection was ridiculous and the recoil didn't match up with the bullets. However, we fought for the flag in the stadium. My team moved out. Obviously, the enemy team was dead. I was stuck in that fucking stadium for 15 minutes and I was the only one in there. I couldn't find my way out. It was that bad of a maze. Mate, honestly, I'm not even fucking lying. I was in there for more than half of the match trying to find my way out. And I didn't want to redeploy because I felt like a pussy.
Commit to it.
Like they could make it play a lot better. However, like Ender said, and I do believe this, it will be like a redacted style when it comes to people camping stairs and zips. It will happen unless they add the correct amount of flanking points. Like redacted, we needed another zip on the other side of the map. I strongly agree with that. And we needed other points where you could come up through the map and not just on one side where people could sit there and just wait.
Yeah, I also think the lanes on Stadium have to be wider.
Yeah,
Because the problem with
they are very
Redacted is
narrow.
the choke points were so narrow that the map just felt like he was fighting in the same hallways for the whole match because people couldn't get any breakthroughs because it was too narrow.
Like B and C, just
Yeah.
contesting them two flags. And if you try going around to the left by the vents, people are sat there. You go by the stairs on the other side. People are sat at the top of the stairs. You try to go down a zip. People are sat either side of a zip.
Yeah.
Like
And
when
you've got
Redacted first come
one
out.
scatter grenade as well.
Oh yeah, SBH, Claymores, And it's like when me and Maz first started playing it, obviously we didn't know you at the time, Luke, but when we were first playing it, first week, it was amazing. And then after that, it went so far downhill.
It got worse and worse and worse.
Well, it's because people's play styles adapted to the map, and
People just started camping more,
Yeah.
explosive,
But
which
mate,
is just...
You get Tony the Carpenter, right? A 40-year-old in Britain, right? And he finishes our day at work. He comes home to play Redacted and goes 4-3 the entire game, and he's just satisfied with that. And that's what people are like.
Camping ziplines with a Dozer shield because you just watched one Squid G video.
And the 12M as well,
he's
God.
inspiring the new players.
Wow, that's the type of people, like, especially people that are new to the game, when we had that huge spike of players on Season 6. And that's what they learn. They come into the game and they think that's how it's played, and they're probably adapting them play styles because they don't try flanking. And I always, Maz has fucking heard me go on about it enough. It's smoke grenades. People forget smokes exist, and Irish Sentinels, it is Irish, isn't it? It's got a Sentinel.
Yeah.
They don't set off smokes now, and people still won't smoke and push. Like me and Maz will chuck down a smoke, we'll push through, kill like 4 or 5 people, and then that's it. Our team just sits there waiting for them to come through the smoke.
Yeah.
Timmy's prone fucking 70
Yeah, I just
meters
wanna
away
add
from
to
the ramp
that,
season of 4 times scope.
I've played pretty much most of Battlefield games quite extensively, and 2042, the people who play 2042 are not real. I've never played a game with so many bad players in my life. Like,
You know,
I'll be-
I didn't think it was that bad until I started a YouTube channel and I've seen the comments.
like,
I didn't think it was that bad.
yeah,
The
like,
comments along with the subreddit, I've seen it. That's all I need to know about the player base, really.
I
Yeah, go
rarely
on Reddit.
ever came across players. I don't want to sound like egotistical or anything. Like, I'm a above average player. Like, got like a 2.6 KD, which for Battlefield is okay. If you're bragging about having a 2.5 KD, you're a dickhead. It's 2.5 KD. It's not. It's not hard to get in Battlefield, especially in 2042, because the way people play that game, they're just so easy to outplay. They're so easy to kill. Yeah, but if you go back and play like BF3 and BF4, where the game actually had a skill gap, like, mate, some of the people that still play those games are disgusting at that game. Like, they are really, really good.
That's why you're
And it's
banned from
hard.
every server.
Yeah, well, no, I'm banned simply because of stats, mate. Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly, because you're too good.
And the ESPs, and the aimbot, and the other hacks
Yeah.
you've got and
Yeah,
stuff.
But-
that's the same.
yeah, 2042 has a lot of bad players, and it's no biggie really. I can't complain.
It's not their fault. Some people
good.
play like that, don't they? They're just not.
Yeah,
It's
They're just
good.
police
it's like they
fans.
have no awareness. I'll be like at Sundance, and I'll be gliding through the map, and I'll land behind 3 people camping on a hill with snipers, and I could sit next to them for the whole game. They won't even know I'm there. Like, that's kind of like how bad it is.
The thing is, like, I know older people play Battlefield typically, and I can see that from my viewer base. And it's like, obviously, we have people that their reflexes aren't as good, and then it's like,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. But when you just sit somewhere and do nothing, you're not contributing to anything. And it's like, we're all 3 of us are good players, right? And we're
Yeah.
near enough always top of the scoreboard, and that's not a brag. It's because we think when we're playing, and it's just some
Yeah.
people don't. Like, whenever we flank together, we'll go around one side of the map for the enemies, and there'll be no one there. Like, how has none of their team thought, oh, actually, I'm going to try and flank as well? And it happens with your teammates too. And then that's
Yeah.
when we try flanking, and then they push us through, and then we get holding a spawn trap or a choke point because none of our team thought to do the same. Sometimes it does happen, but the wide majority just don't.
Yeah. Another thing that makes me laugh, like, if you make a video of you playing the game and you do really well, the clips you're getting are sick. You get
Cheater.
Yeah, kill feeds. You either get, oh, you're a cheater, or oh, you're just really sweaty at this game. You need to calm
Yeah.
down. Okay, let me play bad for you. And if you play bad for them, you just get called shit. Like, you can't win.
Bot.
Like, Enders gets it
Yeah.
on Reddit all the time. People accuse
Yeah.
him of cheating or just saying, look, the way you're playing, it's just too sweaty and it's not meant for the game. But it's
I don't
not. If
think
you,
it's even
it's
too
not.
sweaty. I think he's just got fucking cracked aim. That's
And even
Yeah.
he says he's not that good compared to some other people. Like, there's other people in the Battlefield 5 and 1 community that are tenfold better, but they just don't play 2042 because of the mouse input issues. And
Yeah,
people now get accused of cheating, but obviously there are actually cheats on
yeah.
Battlefield 1 and 5.
The mouse input issue in 2042 is really strange, and it's really hard to explain what's wrong with the mouse input. But I think Enders, he said it best. But when you're shooting your gun and trying to track on players, it's almost like, you know, when you're on a beach, right, and you have a kite, and you're pulling the kite. You're trying to pull it left, but it's blowing right because of wind resistance, right? That's what mouse input feels like in 2042. When you're trying to pull left to aim on the guy, it feels like there's input pulling it to the right. It's really hard to explain, but the mouse input's been broken for so long now. And whenever there's updates coming up, right, then they address the mouse input. They're always like changes to mouse input, adjustments. Adjustments to mouse input, but it's never fixed. It's never fixed. So I'm convinced the input that we have in 2042 is intentional.
They just don't know what they're doing.
Along with a bullet dispersion too.
Yeah, it's almost like the mouse input is purposely broken so that we're not as OP against controller players.
Or it's even they just don't know how to change it.
But I have heard controller input is also the same. So maybe everyone's input's fucked. I don't know.
But then you get people... Shall I say his name? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I Am Nightmare of it just accuses controller players of having aimbot snap to the head, which I've completely debunked in a video. It actually takes you away from the head, but the natural recoil of the weapon takes you up towards the head. And you've got people like that. Mate, keyboard and mouse players, right, complaining about controller players. And it obviously it happens in other games. I know Apex is quite bad for it as well. But then I just see like big content creators saying, you know, they're on mouse and keyboard. And they're like, if you're really moaning about it that much, you're just bad. The whole cheating accusations has gotten so wild in games nowadays. Call of Duty, I understand, because it's obvious. You load up TikTok, mate, and says someone spinning around hitting headshots across the map.
Yeah. This might be a hot take, but my personal opinion on like controller and keyboards and the crossplay and all that, I couldn't give two shits if people were able to use aim assist on PC and stuff like that. As long as there's more players for the game, I'm all for it, because Battlefield's been one of those franchises that on PC it suffers with player counts like 1 year into its life cycle, right? But when you have crossplay, you have 10 times more players playing the game because of crossplay. Yeah, aim assist is really fucking annoying, but at least we have a lot more people playing. That's how I see it, at least.
It's annoying for us, but then the people on controller say mouse and keyboard's annoying because we can just flick onto their fucking heads all the time.
Yeah,
but they don't understand how broken the aiming is on 2042 for mouse. And like, I'd happily say controllers could have an aim assist buff, all right? I think they deserve it. But people just get so upset about it.
Oh, be careful, Leon. You're going to get a lot of people in the comments calling you out for that.
Mate, aim assist is near enough non-existent in 2042, and that's why you got people like Miz, right? He is a decent player. He's literally bought a gyroscope controller so he could use gyro aiming in 2042. Yeah. And it is in 2042. No, he had to use like a weird emulator so he could properly use gyro in 2042.
No Miz X. Oh yeah, I'm looking at one of these messages now. Yeah.
Mate, you should see him on the finals. Like, he puts quite a few videos in, and he said like,
"Oh, has he got a channel?"
Nah, he puts in clips.
Oh, okay.
I think he has made a video on gyro, and I think he wanted to build a channel around gyro aiming because it is a very niche topic. And if console players wanted to get better and have mouse like input, gyro is the way. And the finals has it. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty has it, and it works well. I mean, PS5 and PS4 controllers literally have it built in. It's just Xbox that don't. Yeah. Obviously, it's not as good as the actual gyro controller he's got, but then it's a skill gap. And that's the hate he was getting on the 2042 Reddit. Was people that didn't want to better themselves as players. And it's like, God, some people are just lazy and they moan and they moan. And that's why a lot of console players don't want crossplay. And they say, you know, playing with mouse and keyboard players, you've got people cheating, people hacking. Cronus is a massive fucking issue with controllers, but they just don't know.
Yeah. So actually, back on the Cronus thing. So I'm confused. So is Cronus a thing that allows you to have mouse and keyboard use on consoles, or is that Zims?
With controllers, you can use it on PC as well. I'm pretty sure you can even use it with mice. But a Cronus basically allows you to write scripts. So
I see. Okay.
So like a specific. To be fair, with 2042 with a bullet dispersion, it's made it a lot less viable.
Yeah, because I remember back in Battlefield 3, people used to macro their burst firing, so they'll burst the weapon perfectly for them, so that they have like laser accuracy. So they don't have to worry about spread because the script is bursting for them. So all they have to worry about is aiming. That shit was annoying.
Yeah, but these scripts can basically, let's say you've got a specific weapon, and the finals was really bad for it. What do you remember what it was called, Maz? There was that program people were abusing.
What's
It's
it
not. Is it
called?
Rewise?
Rewise or something. Rewise or something like that.
Yes, people were using scripts right for specific
Yeah.
weapons, like the AKM. They've all got the same recoil patterns. It's a bit like with CS, and I assume the same with Siege. You learn the recoil patterns. So they use these scripts right for these specific weapons, and it would give them 0 recoil at all, and it'd be a laser beam.
Yeah. The visual recoil in finals is really annoying. I think at one point when I was playing the game quite a lot, I was actually using my monitor crosshair to aim because that wasn't moving. So, because when you're shooting in the finals, sometimes the gun bounces from the center of the screen, and it's kind of hard to keep track of that. So if you use a monitor crosshair, that shit stays still the whole time. So even when you're aiming down sight, you just use it, and you will always be pinpoint accurate.
The AKM has a lot of initial recoil, but if you do hold the trigger, you get rewarded for it, and it becomes easily manageable. And not like a bullshit RNG dispersion system like you've got in 2042, which just removes all skill from it.
Yeah, and it barely functions.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Season 7, not hyped for it.
No, not me. Not me.
Gonna play it, but it's nothing exciting.
Yeah, we're gonna play it anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we'll play it. We'll make.
So what we should do for the
looking
next,
forward to it.
if we decide to do this again, we should do it after season 7 comes out. We play like a bunch of games, and then we'll do like our thoughts or something like that.
When's it come out? It's next Tuesday, isn't it?
March 19th, next Tuesday.
We can just do it next Wednesday again then.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, fuck. Hang on. Yeah, I'll have to do it next Wednesday, but I'll have to do it like as soon as I come on because I've got to go to my missus. So I'm leaving for the airport at like 3 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, you're
Thursday.
going away, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So this is one for me. Thoughts on the next Battlefield? What are you guys expecting? Like time period, gameplay, content, and do you think it should stay with the live service model? Like, what do you guys think we should see from the next game?
I think it's like you said earlier, and a lot of other people have said it, and the finals is a great example. Live service is fine if the original content of the game is there, and it's in addition to that.
The thing is, though, like, let's talk about like the time period and stuff. So personally, I would like to see the game in the near future. So between maybe just before 2042, because I think the reason why it's good to have the game in the future, like 2030 or 2035, is that it gives them more creative freedom to put out more weapons and gadgets into the game that we haven't seen in real life. Because there's a lot in real life. There's a lot of weapons and guns that are currently in military testing and all that. And if you made a game based in like 2015, 2016, it wouldn't make sense for that gun to be in the game. So them setting it in the near future, it gives them so much creative freedom of what they can put in the game. So I think setting it in like 2030 would be a good idea. In terms of
Tom Henderson said that, well, with the leak that I had a few weeks ago, it's between 2025 to 2030. So
I think near future games is.
I think that's a sweet spot.
It's the way to go for FPS games because you have so much creative freedom with what you can do there.
Not add fucking Tron tanks into the game, but can one-shot vehicles with hit scan across the map.
Yeah, the thing I found so ridiculous about 2042 is like, for example, say if they put a specialist in the game that can go invisible, right? People will be like, well, that's just unrealistic. But like the game's set in 2042, it's already beyond realism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so realism argument in Battlefield just needs to die. The game has never been realistic, right? The setting, the atmosphere, the audio, the graphics, they're realistic. Okay, I agree with you on that. But gameplay wise, the game has never been realistic. So that argument needs to die already. I'll die on that hill.
And they need to bin off the old gen bullshit. They shouldn't have done that with 2042. Or if they were going to have it, they should have just had 64 player all round the clock on smaller maps where old gen, new gen, and PC can all play together, because that was easily doable.
In terms of day one content, what would you expect from the new game as well?
Oh god, I reckon a minimum of 35 weapons.
Yep. Okay, I agree with that.
Minimum,
was it Battlefield 4 that had that?
Yeah, they had like 37 weapons. It was ridiculous. 10 maps.
10
Even though
maps.
some of the maps in Battlefield 4 were fairly weak. It wasn't a great start. Yeah, so...
All right, with the 64 player maps we've got, right, stuff like Reclaimed, I feel like that would be great if they had maps of that size and scale where it's open, but not too open. It's tight, but it's not too tight. I feel like Reclaimed was like a perfect balance, and it's the only 64 player map we've had that's been designed specifically with outdoors and indoors in mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like Reclaimed it was an amazing map.
That's the snow one, right?
Yeah, hang on, let me reply to I'll reply to Ross quick.
Yeah, so for me, like content-wise, day one, I want to see a minimum of like 10 maps that are really well made and fun to play.
It's got to be a mixture. I want to see at least like 2 or 3 infantry-only maps.
Yeah. Weapons, 35 minimum. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the game would also do really well if it launched with stuff players can play for. Like, so in Battlefield 2042, you have your tier 1 skins for your operator, for your specialists and your guns, right?
I think they should do.
They should have had it for each class.
Call of Duty do.
Yeah, so for 2042, for the amount of shit I give it, I personally really liked the tier 1 grind. I thought that was cool, and I think that needs to come back because it's just free content players can grind for.
I think they can expand on that though.
Yeah.
The same way COD did.
I want classes back. Don't want to see specialists ever again.
However, the specialist traits, I think some of the traits are actually really well done. Like
just bring them over as gadgets though.
Like, was it Battlefield 5 where I think Battlefield 4 and 1 had it, didn't it? Where you could have like squad specialists, stuff like that. But instead of squad stuff, which I mean it could add, you could have like Zane's thing for an assault where when you kill someone, you instantly start regenerating health, but it's not too quick. You got McKay's strafe. You got Falk's Surette pistol, and you can revive people super quick without having to get your defibs out. It makes being a medic more efficient.
Yeah, and in terms of cosmetics as well, so you can do cosmetics for classes. You can do like different character models, different uniforms for your assault class. Like, it's like, you know how Call of Duty do it, for example. In Call of Duty, there isn't classes, but you have character skins, right? They could do that in the next Battlefield. They could have characters for a class. Yeah,
that's it.
So they could bring Irish back, for example. Irish could be a medic, and then you could have Pack from the Battlefield 4 campaign as a medic as well. He doesn't give you any different gameplay. It's just a skin. They could do that with classes quite easily.
And then you can just keep giving them up new skins in the store or whatnot.
Yeah.
Them specific characters.
Because
it works really well in COD.
But yeah, I mean, the whole COD camo system as well. I find people will moan, right, when you got stuff like Michonne and Rick running around, and then they've got these special weapons and stuff. But the actual camos themselves, when you've got like, right, get all of the ARs, right, and then you get this camo. And same with the SMG marksmans. And then when you do all of them, you then get another camo. Stuff like that. Even if it's a moving camo, right? I know some people will be like, oh, this isn't realistic. But you could have a sleekly designed, moving, cool-looking camo. Or even like a super reflective one. You know, like the platinum in MW3. I assume you've all got a platinum gun.
Yeah.
It just looks lovely. Or even Obsidian from Modern Warfare 19. That looks sick.
Mate, I've got Interstellar and Modern Warfare 3, mate.
Oh my god. But yeah, something like that people would moan about in Battlefield. But like the Obsidian camo, for example, from MW19, they added it later on, and it was just like, get a ridiculous amount of kills with this weapon, and you'd then get this extra camo, and it looks so sleek, and there needs to be a grind.
Just gives you something to grind for.
Yeah, because all you've got is tier 1. That's literally it.
Let me look for something quick, because I actually made something. I put it on Reddit a long time ago.
If you had to grind like all the assault rifles to get like a special camo for grinding all of them, it just gives you it's not content because skins aren't content.
Still, it gives you purpose and reason to play the game.
It gives you a reason to keep coming back and sort of playing the game. But whereas now you get the tier 1 skin and then you're just sitting there fiddling your thumbs.
And even different camos, like with 2042, the only unlockable camo you have apart from tier 1 is that Hex one, which is like 25 kills. And then it goes straight to 1200.
And it's terrible anyway.
They could have it with crouch kills, prone kills, stuff like that. I know obviously that might induce camping a bit, but at the end of the day,
headshot kills.
They could have 5-6 different camos for each weapon as a base value, and then you have to complete all of them to then get another camo.
And camos don't take fucking long to put into games. I'm sorry.
No. Well, it's like the stuff they've put in the store. They could have been unlockable things where, you know, like the VHX and the GU in season 6 had like the same styled camo, didn't they? Yeah. You could do that for all weapons. It might take longer, but you know, all that could, I don't know. They could easily do something like that, and it hasn't been spoken about enough either.
But are we confident about the next Battlefield game?
Yes. No.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is though, like,
I don't know.
At this point, it's impossible to fuck the next game up, right? Okay.
Oh, you wait and see.
It's like
nothing's impossible.
The game needs to go back to classes. It needs to go back to 64 players. It needs to go back on focus on bringing great content day one. It's not hard to fuck this game up because you have the formula already, right? You have all the player feedback in the world for this next game, right? 2042 was an experiment, right? They wanted to try and evolve the game in the wrong way, right? Obviously, they didn't intentionally want to evolve it into the wrong way, but they can't fuck this up. It's their last straw, and it'd be impossible to fuck it up.
The thing is, it's like,
but what about all these people leaving, all these devs? It's
two now.
It's not looking great, is it?
Another problem with 2042 is that when a lot of the old school devs left, a lot of the new developers don't actually know how to work with Frostbite engine. Only
it's
the
tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently it's a really difficult engine to work with, right? And that's why one of the reasons why 2042 failed is because the people who were working on it didn't understand the engine. That's why it took so long to fix the game. By now, they should have some decent experience with the engine. So I'm expecting a good game from them, at least.
I've heard something about the engine stuff, and supposedly every single time they start working on a new Battlefield, there's a new engine out, but they're working on the previous one because they're familiar with it. And then with 2042, they supposedly said, no, scrap that, the new engine's out, we're going to give it a go.
Yeah.
It might have been a hell of a lot better if they stuck with the previous engine that just, you know, released or whatever, the one they worked on.
As well.
Oh yeah, it could have had, like, imagine the Battlefield 5 engine, right? I assume that's the last Frostbite one they used before they went to 2042. If they had stuck with that, it would look a hell of a lot grittier. I don't know. Are they going to use the same engine they used with 2042 for the next Battlefield? Or are they just going to say, bin it off, we're going to learn this new one, master it, and make sure it's just done correctly, whatever the new version of Frostbite is.
Well, there is a new version of it, isn't there? They've already said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, are they going to put all their eggs in this basket and risk what they've done with 2042 and make sure they do it right? Like, surely they can't use the engine they used for 2042.
No, they won't. I doubt they will. But I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's trust in a minute, and everything just gets worse and worse. And you think, oh, surely they can't make season 7 even worse than season 6.
No,
and they did.
Look, surely another lead developer can't leave. 1 week later, another one leaves.
Yeah, I reckon the reason why they're leaving is because they've seen the vision for the next game already, and we're like, yeah, no, I don't want to be a part of that, and left. For all we know, the next game is set up to be like this disgusting AAA, a store-infested monetization game abomination.
No, they can't do that.
They've learned anything, they cannot do that. But we also can't put it past DICE to not do that after what's happened with 2042.
It's EA, isn't it? It's EA, really. I doubt DICE want to put that much microtransaction. It's just EA forcing them to do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more upset with them cancelling the Mandalorian game.
Because apparently EA, they just force it onto the developers big time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this concept art I made like years ago for 2042, and it'd be a good idea if they did it in the next game. I'm trying to find it, but I can't find it anywhere for the life of me.
There's a window capture for this.
Check Google Drive on my other account. It was something to do with the Tier 1 specialist system. I made a concept art that expanded upon the current system. Just need to find it. It'd be kind of interesting to throw up on the screen. Remember where I made it? No, I think it might be dead.
Lost in the wind.
I put it on Reddit on somewhere. It might be on there. I just need to figure out how to find it. How do I view my posts?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as long as they make this game feel gritty, the atmosphere is decent. I mean,
Oh, and bring back the good voice lines from Battlefield 3. It seems if you go and play the Battlefield 3 portal, they removed like 90% of the voice lines, probably because they think it's too vulgar for games nowadays, because they're just scared of offending people.
they need it.
They do need it desperately.
Just adds the feeling of war.
Yeah, because some of the voice lines in Battlefield 3 were like hilarious.
Yeah, I can't believe they even tried that with 2042 the first time with the specialists.
Yeah.
I can't fucking believe they done it. When it comes to content as well for the next game, because obviously they're gonna do a season pass. I feel like they just how was it in the past they were releasing 4 maps at a time with new weapons, and now they can't.
I don't know how they managed to do that back in the day. Back like when an expansion was about to come up for Battlefield 3, that shit was so exciting. Like knowing there's gonna be 4 new maps, 10 new guns to play with for like 2 months minimum, and then there'll be a new season after a new expansion after that, with just like even more content. Like it was so good back then. I don't understand why they can't replicate that in a season.
Well, it's like obviously back then when you'd buy the DLC, you can only play with people who bought the DLC. They wouldn't take that risk nowadays. I don't think any company would, because in case people don't buy it, and it also segregates players, doesn't it? It's pretty much lowering the player count for these select maps and then people on the base game. But for some reason, it fucking worked back then, and it was all paid DLC back then.
Squid G just followed me on my Twitter.
Did he?
Yeah, I haven't logged into this fucking account in months, maybe even more.
Maybe he's trying to get back at you.
I don't even know when he followed me. That could have been months ago.
Did it not tell you?
No, it doesn't say. It's not on here either, man. Where the hell did I put it?
I don't think you'll find it, mate.
Don't think I am. You're right.
Yeah, but 35 weapons minimum, no specialists, just class types like we've got now. But you have traits of the specialists, because some of them are definitely usable. At least, there's got to be at least 10 maps, aren't there? I feel like a mix of like 50-50 of stuff like Reclaimed. And then I want to say Redacted, but Redacted is also poorly built, to be honest. But some stuff with open space and vehicles, and some stuff is just strictly infantry. That should be an absolute must.
Good mixture of both is always good.
Yeah, and like a server browser as well. Balancing weapons as well properly before you release them, and not having them overtuned and overpowered like they admitted.
They need to have like 3 betas to test all the weapons at least.
They could do what was it? I think Battlefield 4, they had playtest servers, didn't they?
Yeah, something like controlled test environments.
Yeah, controlled test environments where they get people to test weapons, and like, okay, right, you know, when it gets to a new season, you want to have new weapons, but it doesn't matter if people are testing them early, or at least invite a certain amount of people, and not just these big name creators that are just going to suck it off and not give any proper criticism.
I have found it. Yes, I found it. I'll send it to you on Discord. Actually, I'll put it in Pod Boys. So this is a concept that I made a while ago to expand upon the Tier 1 system. So if you look at it there, so you get Tier 1 Rattle, you needed 4,000 spots, right? And then you have Tier 2, which is 8,000 spots. You get blue camo. Tier 3, which is 12,000 spots. And then you get a green camo. And then Tier 4, which is 15,000 spots. You get... It's supposed to be black and gold, but it looks orange now that I look at it.
Yeah.
But this is just something they could have expanded upon the Tier 1 system, just to add more of a grind. Because back in Battlefield 3, you had like service stars grind, and everyone loved grinding for 100 service stars for their kit or their guns and stuff. So this is like a system sort of similar to that. I thought personally at the time when I made it, it was a really cool idea, but now that I don't see most of the player base grinding for it.
Yeah, but for solid camos, right? Them solid colours, it doesn't seem like it will do much, but it does stand out.
Yeah, and I remember one of the comments I got was like, great, adding more colour to a military game, good idea. And I just replied to him saying, motherfucker, you have LEDs on you when you're running around. Like
Falk's adrenaline skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's something like that, even though it's basic, people would grind it, I think.
I would. Mate, I think the black and gold looks sick. I would happily grind for that. You also get it for the gun as well. You can see he's holding it with the skin equipped.
Yeah. It's such an easy thing as well.
Yeah.
It's just like the Tier 1 skins they've got at a minute, they could easily adjust colours on them. And maybe even add headgear and stuff. This based more around it changes, and it's not just the standard one. Maybe the armor evolves a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Like it does in Helldivers. As you're going through the Battle Pass system on Helldivers, the armor does change a little bit. And it's just, oh my God.
Yeah. Right. Should we wrap it up? What's the last thing you guys want to cover, or do you reckon we've done it all?
I've got, obviously I'm going to cut it all up. I've got an hour and 12 minutes.
Oh, I think we've done more than enough. Yeah.
Plenty.
We'll
Oh,
go
wasn't
for
so
another
bad.
hour.